Yo, what's
This
up?
is another test.
Thanks a lot. I'm not. I'm recording. No. Okay, we'll keep
I'll
going.
move to another test. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, my bad.
No, we're going. We're going to keep this. All right, here we go. Yo, what's up, y'all? This your boy Raw coming at you raw. I hope your day is all well and God bless you for stopping by. I got my homie Bandit with me, but first, if you could drop a like on the video, please drop a like in support. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. And also, subscribe here for more gaming news from console to PC and maybe even tablets and phones. Now, without further ado, my boy Bandit, say hey to the people.
Wagwan, people, wagwan.
Oh! He's back on the channel. This is not gaming talk. Repeat, this is not gaming talk. This is just a video me and Bandit wanted to do. And another video we did just now, it's gameplay versus graphics. Please check out his channel for that. I'm going to have the link when it goes live in the description as well as in the annotation. Support my boy. Drop him some love. Say, hey, you're from my channel when you get there. But now, Bandit, the topic of this show is resolution versus frame rate.
Yes, sir. Resolution versus frame rate. So resolution versus frame rate. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, similar to what I was saying with the graphics versus gameplay stuff as well. There's always going to be the ideal is to have a balance between the two, and I think that's always going to be, in my view anyway, the quote right answer. But you always want to find the perfect balance between the two. That being said, what we're really talking about is, if you had to sacrifice one, which one do you sacrifice? Or more specifically, if you had to sacrifice one, I mean, you have them both, but if you had to cut down on one, which one do you cut down on? And I would say it is better to cut down on the resolution than it is to cut down on frame rate in most circumstances. There have been a few circumstances where, depending on the game, of course, it's not going to matter. But I think in most circumstances, especially as someone who plays, I typically play action games. Lots of explosions, lots of fast movements, etc., etc., etc. So if the frame rate on that is really low, 25, 30 frames per second, but the resolution is great. You're gonna notice it. It's gonna feel very stuttery.
Yeah.
It's gonna look. You're gonna notice little clippings from time to time, and it's gonna feel slow. It's gonna feel frustrating when you're hitting buttons, you're trying to move. You're gonna notice it. So I would say, especially for action games, it's better to have a much better. If you have to drop down the resolution in order to maintain a much higher frame rate, I think it's better for that. That being said, of course, if you've got a high-end PC that can handle both high-end frame and high-end resolution, then that's just even better, isn't it? But for those who have to choose, I would say in most cases it's better to have a higher frame rate than a higher resolution. But as I said, there are certain games where it's not going to matter. Right.
I want to hit at you with another way to look at it too. With the arrival of PlayStation 4 Pro coming next week, and the whole Xbox Scorpio, Project Scorpio, which was announced at 2016's Microsoft press conference, these consoles are saying 4K, 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 right? My whole thing is the guys from Crystal Dynamics who are making Tomb Raider, the Rise of Tomb Raider, a Pro Edition, having 3 versions of it. It's gonna have a high frame rate version. It's gonna have the 4K version, and it's gonna have the 1080p 30 with the enhanced graphic version. To be honest, you know what I'm saying? To be honest, right? I would actually pick the 1080p 30 option because it talks about it's gonna be enhanced, and I have a TV that supports low latency, refresh rate, and that's what I want to rest on. TVs. I wanted to get to that. The refresh rates for TVs, in my opinion, is more important than the HDR promises that now 4K is trying to, or 4K televisions are trying to give us. Refresh rates for TVs, I'm talking about low latency. And I don't know if you ever went to Best Buy and saw a TV moving unnaturally. Like you're looking at the pictures and they're moving unnaturally. Because, humans, we can see only 30 frames per second. Humans, that's science. Look, when you're seeing something of like low latency, and the hertz are on point, like a native 120 hertz on a television, in my opinion, for games, that looks so much better than if it didn't have those extra frames to move it in. So to me, I believe frame rate, refresh rates are definitely more important than the resolution. Now, my cousin would probably jump on me saying, no, man, if you buy a 4K television, it better be native 4K, have HDR, all that good stuff. But what do you say about the whole television front of the whole...
to be honest, with televisions, I mean, as far as I'm aware, and to be honest, I haven't looked into television technology for quite some time now. But as far as I'm aware, most, if not all, TVs or monitors being sold these days would have a response rate or refresh rate of lower than sort of 10 milliseconds, usually around 5-6 milliseconds, sometimes even lower than that.
Yeah.
And I think as long as you're below, for gaming, as long as you're below, say, 8 milliseconds, then you're golden. That being, I mean, I think as long as you're below 8 milliseconds on your TV, then you're golden. That being said, I mean, if it's too high, then you see the ghosting and everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, I haven't looked into it. So perhaps with certain TVs, I certainly haven't looked into the 4K TV specifically. Mm-hmm. So yeah, perhaps there's something there that needs to be considered as to, of course, how the refresh rate on the screen is. But yeah, certainly that's an important factor as well. Because I think oftentimes we look at what can your graphics card do, what can this do, but if your TV can't handle it, it's like whoops.
No. Hey, do you have a nice monitor for your PC?
Oh, so what was that?
Do you have a nice monitor for your PC?
Oh. I have 2 monitors. I've got one of them is actually a TV monitor. It's a small TV monitor that I use as a PC monitor, and that's a Samsung something or other. I actually don't even know the model of it, but I've had that for maybe a year and a half or so. And I've got another second monitor, which is an Acer monitor. They're both pretty good, both really high response rates. And yeah, they do the job well enough.
Nice.
So they're not 4K. They're not 4K compatible, either of them. So it can't do that. But they're certainly both HD. They both can handle 60 frames per second easily. So yeah, they're fine for what I need them for.
I want to ask you this while we're on the 4K TV talk. PS4 Pro is gonna be able to do native 4K, not on all games, but on some. Do you think it's important for Sony to advertise 4K for this PS4 Pro, knowing that most of its games are going to be checkerboard resolution, like how Digital Foundry, great YouTubers over there, they cover the pixel, but they're from Eurogamer, but they cover the pixel, the detail side of gaming, and PS4 Pro is tooting its horns on its 4K nature, but Should Sony, is it right for them to, because to be honest, AAA titles are going to not be native 4K.
Right. Well, from a marketing perspective, they need to mention it because it's kind of their selling thing. That being said, they need to be careful how they market it, just so they don't get sued like No Man's Sky.
Oh, hey man, don't talk about my No Man's Sky game like that.
We're ripping on No Man's Sky today.
Dang it. That's a
but you don't want to get sued for false advertising. When I was looking into it, so yeah, some games are going to be native, but I think a good majority, but at least in the early stages, aren't going to be native 4K where they're just upscaled. I think I get why they want to do that, because they want to maintain a higher refresh rate. So I appreciate it. It's just a shame that if you are buying a PS4 Pro, and then you don't actually get 4K or native 4K out of it, you may want to hold off buying it for a while until games can support it better. But certainly in the beginning, you're going to find that it's upscaled, and sure, it's going to maybe look a little bit better, maybe a little bit, but is it going to be worth? Is it going to be 200 and how much is that? $300 better or $350 better? You know what I mean? You got to ask yourself that: is it worth that? But I would say just in 4K in general, 4K looks fantastic. Let me be clear on that. 4K looks absolutely fantastic. Movies, games, it looks fantastic, and absolutely there is a difference between how 4K looks and how HD 1080 looks. Absolutely, no doubt about it. It is an absolutely clear, distinguishable difference between HD and 4K. That being said, I still feel like 4K isn't as an important enough difference to rush into as going from well, I get a bit old school again, but going from VHS to DVDs.
Yes.
Okay, if you remember that. That was a massive difference, right? If you had a VHS player and you went to DVDs, it wasn't just, okay, it looks a bit better on DVDs, but there was so much improvements from VHS to DVDs. It was a massive, massive, important difference where you practically needed, or I say need, I use the word quite loosely, but you needed to go out and buy yourself a DVD player because this was the future. Whereas you go from DVD to Blu-ray, and yes, there's a difference in quality, but it's not as important difference. And Blu-ray, say HD Blu-ray to 4K Blu-ray, or HD gaming to 4K gaming, yes, there's a difference, but it doesn't feel like it's important enough difference to rush into. That's why when it talks about these 4Ks recently now, I feel like it's too early. I mean, it's something they perhaps should have, had they done it at the time the PS4 was released, as they should have done back then, then sure, why not? But 3 years later, it feels like they're rushing something that isn't really that important to get on board with right now. 3 more years down the line, 4 years down the line, yes, do 4K, 8K, whatever K you want to do then.
Yeah.
But right now, 4K just doesn't feel like an important enough difference to rush into. And then, especially when it's like games aren't even going to be, the games coming out aren't even going to be native 4K anyway. So, like, what is the point? Why even bother?
Yeah. Let me say this, and we're getting close to the wrap-up point. 4K is like Bandit said, no doubt, is impressive looking. I think that games like The Last of Us Remastered that will be native 4K on PS4 Pro, as well as Killing Floor 2 native 4K on PS4, they're gonna definitely look impressive. And I think, and I know for a fact, The Last of Us has the gameplay to back it up. But at the end of the day, like Bandit said, I think we're pretty early in on this whole 4K rush, But my whole thing is, I still want the Pro because the promise of it being a better PS4. Literally because of that. But if you could wait, you may actually can get a better deal with the PS4 Pro in the future, right? Because bundles will come out, bundles with games will come out if you choose to wait. But for me, I want the better PS4 now because, like, I'm sorry, man. I just want to. I have a 4K television. I actually invested in one last year, and it's just been sitting in my room, not playing no 4K, nothing. Right? It's just been playing PS4, a 1080p console. So I'm excited that the promise of a better PS4 that could support up to 4K resolutions is coming out next week. I want to test this thing because, like I said, I've been having this TV now playing nothing 4K on it for a year now. And look, some people say, you idiot, you should have waited. Yeah, I probably should have waited. But look, I didn't, so now I got to eat the cookie, all right? And I want that PS4 Pro. Look like a nice Oreo cookie if you look at it right. But yeah, dude.
It kind of looks like like one of those desk shelves where you put like an in and out documents in, go in tray and out tray.
Dude, I hope the hard drive works like that. Like slide in and slide out the hard drive that's in the PS4 normally. Because I have a 2 terabyte in my normal PS4. I would love to put that in my Pro. But anyway, going back to...
Imagine, you should be able to at least anyway. I don't know if they've mentioned it, but I doubt it'd be that difficult.
No, I know you can take it out and put in a new one. I just don't know how easy it's going to be on the Pro, or how hard it's going to be on the Pro.
Yeah.
But
as long as it's using like a laptop style hard drive, that like the same as the PS4. Then,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. My dream would be a slide in, slide out type deal. But look, last seconds, Bandit. On this whole resolution versus frame rate, what is more important to you?
I'll go with frame rate over resolution. Resolution, of course, is important. You need to have something to look at, and preferably something that isn't jagged and hurts your eyes after 5 seconds. So resolution is important. But I do feel if you're talking about say PC gaming or even console gaming, where you have to kind of choose between the two sometimes, especially with PC gaming, if you got maybe sort of mid, lower range PC, then yeah, I would go with choosing the higher frame rate. Just the settings to have a higher frame rate over the higher resolution, because it would just be a much smoother experience. It may not look as pleasant, especially if you have to drop the resolution down really low. As long as you can, I think, as long as you can stay 720 or above on your resolution, then yeah, have the higher frame. If you need to go below 720, then you just need to upgrade your PC. I mean, that's like, dude, upgrade. If you have to go below 720 to get a stable frame rate, then it's time to upgrade your PC.
Nah, man, just go to console. It's easier.
Just save your money. You know what I mean? Cut some lawns, mow the grass.
Oh,
you know,
man, you sound like when Sony
babysit. You know, whatever you gotta do.
No good.
Just upgrade your PC. It's time. It's time, dude. It's time.
That's a little bit sad when Sony said you gotta have a second job to buy a PS3. But look,
they said that, didn't they? Yeah,
right?
and they said that before. Was it on the PS? I think it was on the PS3 release.
Yes.
Oh wait, they just said that. My bad.
A little bit sad.
Yeah.
All right, let me say this, y'all. Write in the comment section, what do you prefer? What do you prefer, resolution over frame rate, or frame rate over resolution? Do you want them edges sharper than it could be, or do you want that gameplay smoother? Like, let us know in the comment section. We will reply in support. Check out my boy channel. His channel link will be in the description below, as well as in the annotation. Bandit, thank you for stopping by.
Hey, thank you for having me, dude.
Yes. And I said, I was mentioning Gaming Talk earlier. Gaming Talk will return. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned to the channel, as well as follow me on Twitter at RawWilson1. Bandit, what's your Twitter handle? And if you want to do some plugs, do it now.
Alright, a few plugs, okay. Well, there's sockets. There's 3.5mm jacks.
No good!
That, you know, Apple don't have anymore.
That's a little bit sad.
Alright, now, yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Bandit Haze, Bandit Haze, or one word. I'm Bandit Haze everywhere. Just search Bandit Haze and you'll find my Twitter, Facebook, all the rest of it,
MySpace?
Instagram. What?
You're not on MySpace?
Actually, you know what? I probably still am on MySpace.
No!
I probably still am. I've not deleted my profile. So I've not checked it in a long time, but it's probably still there. Unless it gets deleted after a while. I don't know if they do that. They might delete it after a while if it's inactive for X amount of time. So that could have happened. But as far as I know, yeah, it's still there. It's probably still there.
All right.
MySpace.
All right, cool. Follow him there. Subscribe to his channel.
Yeah, follow me on MySpace.
No, man, not MySpace, YouTube, and all that good stuff. But that is all she wrote. This has been Raw, coming at you raw. Peace. Now, look, this video is about a little game called Titanfall 2. Now, look, before you guys say, oh, no one's buying that, that game's trash, get that out of here. Let me say this. I think EA knew that Titanfall 2 had an uphill battle to fight, you know, against Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.